Welcome back to the Making Money with Fiverr course. We're still on Module 1 of Section 1. This will be the second video for Section 1, Understanding the World of Fiverr. In our last video, I was just elaborating on some strategies on selecting gigs and kind of coming up with a unique gig. So in our last video, I ended on the idea of doing picture modification. So if you're really good at graphics or Photoshop or any of the Adobe products or even Microsoft Paint, for that matter, you can offer editing, resizing services, removing red eye effects, color enhancements. You can provide services within this category, and it's actually a very popular category. Graphics and design are huge on Fiverr. So if you have graphical skills, then you can really tap into the gold mine on Fiverr, providing those skills. Another unique category, especially for people that live abroad or people that live in a unique country or people that live in a romantic place such as Paris, you can provide offline jobs. So people on Fiverr aren't only providing online jobs, like services that can be delivered via email. Many people do things in the offline world, such as take a poster, go to a public place, and actually advertise for your business, hand out flyers for your business in a public place, write a postcard from an exotic place or location, send you a picture of tourist spots, be your tour guide, write a trip itinerary for an upcoming trip. So there are a lot of offline duties, so everything does not have to be technical. And this is one unique thing about Fiverr that you cannot really find on freelancer.com or guru.com or some of these other outsourcing sites. You cannot really find these offline freelance services. So here you have a picture of a young lady that is in Singapore. So she's advertising a business called I Love Dazzling Nails. Well, Dazzling Nails is the business, so she put together a poster, a little small poster, and a picture of her in Singapore, throwing up her finger saying, I love dazzling nails. So really, your imagination is your only limitation on Fiverr, especially when it comes to this category of offline duties. One such thing, unique gig, is every year my grandmother, I actually hired someone on Fiverr to call my grandmother. So last year I hired someone that could mimic Michael Jackson. This year I hired someone that mimicked Elvis Presley. So as I said, the only limitation of Fiverr is your imagination. There's someone out there, they have a section called weird gigs, and miscellaneous gigs or other gigs, and there's some really freaky stuff out there. You have people that can read your future, people that create a voodoo doll and send it to you, all types of freaky stuff that can be done for $5. So my best suggestion to anyone that's looking to get started and make money on Fiverr is to actually go through the website, look for ideas first, write down a list of ideas, and write down a list of things you think you can do easily. And I like to tell people they should try to focus on services they can provide, but they only take them between 5 and 10 minutes. Because think about it, $1 a minute, is a nice income. That's $60 an hour. That'd be $30 an hour if it takes you 10 minutes to complete the gig. And $60 an hour is a really nice income, especially if you can scale it. It's something you can repeat over and over again. Another gig or popular category gig that a lot of people get started, especially if you have a webcam or video camera and you can actually do product reviews, or you can review internet sites. So you can, someone will send you a review about a product, someone will send you a product, you just write a review, do a video review. So these are really popular. A lot of people are very popular. A lot of popular gigs on Fiverr are actually people that provide video reviews of products and whatnot. Now, if you're a little camera shy, some people do screencast videos, such as this particular video that you're watching. You don't see my face. You don't readily see my face. So this is what we call a screencast video. So a lot of people provide screencast videos, reviews as well. So that's another option if you're a little camera shy like yours truly. So a lot of different gigs, a lot of different categories, a lot of different things to consider when selecting your gig. So before I close out in this particular chapter, Understanding the World of Fiverr.com, here are some Fiverr best practices. So you really want to look at your gig title. you want to look at your gig category. So what's the title of your category? Okay, to sing happy birthday is kind of boring, but to say, hey, I will wish someone that you love happy birthday in Michael Jackson melody or Elvis Presley, like that's a little more exciting. So your gig title is one thing you want to look at. Your gig category, you want to make sure that you're putting your gig in an appropriate category. So if you're providing a technical service, make sure that it is in technical. If you're providing a graphic service, make sure it is under design or graphics. If you're providing writing or translation, make sure it's under that. If you're providing something weird, make sure it's under the other category. Other thing are gig requirements. So what are required for the person that's actually buying your gig? You don't want to overcomplicate the process. You don't want to have them doing a survey. It's going to take them 30 minutes to complete. You really want to make it as frictionless as possible. Also, the gig images, you want to make sure that you don't use copyrighted images in your gigs, because Fiverr has been known to shut down certain gigs that violate that. You want to make sure that the gigs relate to the gig you're actually offering. So some people used to take pictures of like a young lady in a bikini, okay, with like a breast hanging all out, and put that for translation services. So yeah, that will draw people's attention, because naturally we're kind of drawn to humans. Humans as humans, we're drawn to humans in photos. So that will draw your attention, but you may be slightly offended by that. Imagine you're an 80-year-old preacher and you're looking to translate something in Spanish because you're going to go on a missionary trip to Guatemala, and you see a half-naked dressed woman. You know, that will probably be a turnoff for that 80-year-old preacher. So you might lose that business. So you have to think in terms that just because you think that the photo's cool or hot or amazing, you know, you have to think in terms of your customer. I actually suggest that people put together really a gig video. So that is a huge thing that a lot of people overlook. They just limit their gig to these images. You also want to look at your gig description. You want to make sure you have grammatically correct description. You want to make sure that you're talking about your benefits and features for your particular service. You want to also have some some extra gigs. So you want to make sure that you're able to upsell. So if someone orders a $5 gig from you, you want to make sure that you can double that and get $10, or quadruple it and get $20 for that same gig, multiplied by 4. So you want to make sure you're adding value to people. So these are some of the best practices with Fiverr, and hopefully these are things that help you get some greater traction in getting started with your Fiverr. So here's some basic rules regarding payments, because I do get this question a lot, especially from friends and family that want to get started on Fiverr. So this is how it works. At the time of the recording, this is what holds true. This may change in the future. So for every $5 gig, you receive $4 via PayPal or via your Fiverr MasterCard. Okay, it will take $14 to transfer the money to your account. So you're kind of on net 15 days. So you do a gig on the 1st of the month, you get payment for that particular gig on the 15th of the month. Okay, you have a deadline by the client to complete the work. So if someone hires you to do the translation services, let's say the 80-year-old preacher that's going to Guatemala for a missionary trip that needs to take his sermon and translate it into Spanish to get handed out to people in Guatemala, he may need this translation back in 2 days. Okay, so you have a deadline you have to complete the work by. So this will actually be set by the person that provides the service, but you need to make sure that you adhere to that deadline. So don't get busy and caught up with life. Don't put a deadline so quick that you're not going to be able to meet it. Some people have deadlines of 7 days and 10 days. Now, a lot of people are turned off by that, so they probably won't hire you as quickly if you had a 2-day or 3-day turnaround. Typically, 3 days is probably the average time for, I guess, kind of the sweet spot between not turning people off because they have to wait too long and giving yourself enough time to actually do and deliver the work. Okay. Now, no payment and a negative feedback will be received if you do not meet the deadline. Okay. So someone can write you a negative feedback. Okay, and negative feedbacks will kill your account. Okay, if you do not meet the deadline. And also, you won't get paid. So let's say you're past the deadline, decide to do the work, and you take time and you do the work. And then you realize that, oh, I'm 2 days past the deadline. You're not going to be paid. Plus, you did the work. Plus, you're going to get bad feedback. So the idea of this is to really set amount of time that is reasonable that you feel you can handle and control without surpassing the deadline. Okay, so that concludes section 1, module 1, understanding the world of Fiverr. Next, we'll talk about joining the army of an online marketing warrior. Yeah. All right, see you in the next video. Peace.